Hi everyone, here I wanted to make another video on body language and lie detection. In particular, I wanted to add some more clarifying explanations to my previous video, in which I discussed whether Grandmaster Hans Niemann might have cheated when playing Magnus Carlsen, the world champion, or not. In lie detection, we generally look for clusters of unusual behavior and language, as compared to a baseline of the same person when calm and not stressed. The fear of being found out causes stress, and clusters of unusual behavior are important, as by chance there might be some naturally occurring variation in a person's behavior or his statements. Body language and face reading are particularly important, as most bypass conscious thought, as regulated by the evolutionary ancient limbic system of our nervous system. Once one tries to control these, the behavior becomes slow and odd due to cognitive overload required to do the processing, filtering, and adjustments. Additionally, one can analyze the spoken words, but they are much easier to control. So particularly we look for incongruent behavior which does not match the spoken word. Often the behavior betrays the culprit, and often deep down he wants to be found out and stopped due to guilt. Nevertheless, words can also be super important, as out of the many ways of what to say, the culprit has to carefully choose the words to avoid detection, which again creates cognitive overload and sometimes even embedded confessions, as the culprit has to avoid to say the wrong things, and so he ends up saying them indirectly. To make a long story short, a lie detection is a bit like hypothesis testing. Assuming the boring null hypothesis that the person is innocent, we keep observing until in a given amount of time enough red flags have accumulated to reject the null hypothesis and to consider alternative hypotheses, such as that he is lying, keeping in mind that stress itself can cause odd suspicious behavior. To establish a baseline, here we see a short video clip.
I think that, you know...
Should we be beheaded or just...
No, you guys should be...
So here Hans is being outspoken, expressive, using his hands, these are called illustrators, to support the spoken word, and all is congruent, flows naturally, is fast and spontaneous. So he's not a massive introvert, at least at these tournaments. To get an idea of what Hans behaves when he's winning, we have another short video clip here.
Holy shit! I am the fucking best! Oh my fucking god. Get fucking down and bow down! That was so fucking good!
So here we see him winning in online chess. Again, he's very outspoken, lots of excitement, also lots of bragging, to say it mildly. Now let's look at this short video clip when he comes out of the room after beating the world champion Magnus Carlsen in classical chess. Based on what we saw before, we would expect him to be overly joyed, bubbly, eager to speak to reporters, soak up the moment, shine in the spotlight, gloat in front of the camera, etc. Clearly, it would be an immense accomplishment winning against the world champion in a classical game, as chess has very little to do with chance, as one is to make many decisions in terms of making continuously the right moves out of the many possible. A single blunder generally ruins the whole game. In short, a childhood dream must have come true at this moment.
Wow, what can I say?
What a result.
Phenomenal, right? Phenomenal.
What a result. Yeah, you said it, David. Incredible start to the day for Hans Niemann, the lowest rated player in the tournament with the black pieces. A win against world #1, Magnus Carlsen. And now I'm curious to hear some reactions from Hans in Miami.
Hans, yesterday was a terrible day for you, and today you start out with a masterpiece. How would you summarize it?
Chess speaks for itself.
Is it something special doing this against Magnus, Hans?
After we looked at this in real time, let's look at it in slow motion and highlight the odd behaviors, the red flags.
Magnus Carlsen, and now I'm curious to...
First red flag, he sees the interviewer and walks by, using apparently this time to think before turning around and engaging with the interviewer.
To hear some reactions from Hans in Miami.
Second, he puts his hands into the pockets, a classic sign of concealing something. He might not conceal something in his hands, but the body language is symbolic and revealing.
Hans, yesterday was a terrible...
Third, he He has a controlled blank face, a poker face, concealing his emotions. He is looking away, keeping his distance, potentially leaning even backward to create distance from the source of stress.
Day for you, and today you start out with a masterpiece. How would you summarize it?
Chess speaks for itself.
Fourth, now instead of talking about himself, how overjoyed he is, how brilliantly he played, or how bad his opponent played, how happy it is, he just says chess speaks for itself, which is a very neutral and seemingly irrelevant statement about chess and not about himself. So this gives the impression that Mr. Chess won and not himself, a kind of embedded confession.
Is it something special doing this against Magnus, Hans?
Fifth, now he walks away. That's a sign of being fearful. So when one is fearful, that impedes rational thought. Instead, one is governed by the basic limbic system, the instinctive fight, flight, or play dead response. He decides on the flight response and runs away. Sixth, one could say the viewer of the video wasn't really there, so maybe we misinterpret something. But the interviewer was there, and he is a mirror of reality. He also reacts spontaneously given the situation he's in. He also thinks this is odd. He calls after him and starts laughing, something he unlikely planned on doing. In summary, I exemplified the thought process in analyzing body language and lie detection using a very short video clip and a couple more to establish a baseline. We saw clusters of unusual behavior given Hans just won against the world champion, consistent with concealing information and possibly cheating. Did he actually cheat? I have no idea. He is clearly innocent until proven guilty. So I hope this little analysis was clarifying and helpful, and talk to you next time. Bye.